friends, Kelsey from Life Choices Center here. Spring is here. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I get so excited when spring comes because spring is such a good reminder that in our own life we go through seasons. And some seasons are like winter. They are tough. Some seasons feel like they're going to just last forever. They feel darker, they feel harder, and they feel colder. But spring reminds me that in our life, we also have seasons with new growth. We have seasons with light, and we have seasons with hope. Spring reminds me that there's hope and that spring is coming in my life. Hope is coming in my life. The winter I might be facing is preparing me for a more hopeful, brighter, new spring with growth in my life. And it's the same for you. Spring is coming for you. Winter does not last forever. It won't last forever in your life. Spring is coming. There's going to be seasons of hope. There's going to be seasons of light. I just hope that really just brings you some peace today. Just reminds you that there's different seasons. Some of them are harder than others, but there are seasons of growth and there are seasons of light. I hope you find hope in that. In addition to being the beginning of spring, April is also Stress Awareness Month. If you talk to my friends or family, they will all tell you I do not do well with stress. I am really easily stressed out, honestly. My personality type, I just have trouble handling it. I get stressed out easily. So I'm going to give you some of my tips of how I deal with the stress in my life for this April, Stress Awareness Month, and for hopefully many more months to come. Okay, so let's jump right in. My first tip is gain some perspective. Talk to somebody. Write it down. Write down what's stressing you out. Write down the situation. Talk to somebody about it. Those people might be able to give you perspective that you need. They might be able to point out that what you think is your biggest stressor is simply a symptom and there's an underlying stressor. They might be able to point out some helpful solutions that help relieve your stress, or they might be able to give you the objective facts that you need to make the best decision in a situation that might be stressful. They can just give you that perspective. Writing it out is also helpful. I would definitely suggest you talk to someone, a parent, a teacher, a friend, a mentor, someone from work, a therapist, a counselor, whoever in your life that you can trust. But writing it out is something else that you can do in that moment if there's no one around to help you have perspective. Many times I've written things out and realized that there was a solution right in front of me to what was stressing me out, or just writing it out helped just relieve some of that anxiety and stress that was really just weighing against me. So I would just really highly encourage you, write it out and talk to someone to get that perspective. My next tip is to make a list. Not necessarily a list of all the things you have to do unless that feels helpful for you. The list I'm talking about is on one side of the paper. I would like you to list out the things in your life that you're stressed about that you can't control, and the things in your life that you can control. Take a look at your life. What is stressing you out that you have no control over? People's opinions, people's reactions, maybe the future, maybe what your partner may do when you tell them about something, or maybe what your parents they may react when you tell them about something. You can't control that. So list that and the things that you can't control. You can't control the weather. You can't control the future necessarily, because there's tons of different factors in that. Just write out what you necessarily can't control. Then write out what you can control. You can make the decision in front of you. You can submit that assignment. You can do your best work on this deadline that you have a deadline for. You can make supper tonight. Whatever it may be, large or small, list out what you can control and what you can't control. Don't let the things that you can't control steal your joy. Don't allow them to stress you out to the point of crippling fear and anxiety. Yes, those things are stressful, but I just encourage you to just recognize that you don't control them and focus on what you can and take small steps to make your life better in the areas that you can control. It may sound super simple and like it won't be super helpful, but I know that this exercise has helped me and other people a lot. It has helped them just kind of refocus and has helped them stress just for a moment on what they can't control and then move on to what they can control. My next tip for you is to pause. Yes, pause. I went through a season in my life where I was going to school, I was working, and I was volunteering several places, and I was so stressed. I mean, I was becoming weak physically, mentally, and emotionally because I just had so much on my plate. And what I had to learn to do to help me manage that stress was to take moments to pause and breathe. Whether that was coming from one class to the other and I only had to have 5 minutes, I had to take one of those minutes to just breathe. I had to push out my fears, push out my thoughts, intrusive thoughts of what ifs in my mind, and I had to push that aside, and I just had to take some deep breaths. Sometimes I have to pause and take a day of rest. I have to pause and push those thoughts out of my mind and develop a good evening routine so I get the rest that I need. I would encourage you to live a healthy lifestyle of taking a pause. If you feel stressed, breathe. I know it sounds so simple, but just do it. Pause and breathe. Take moments to rest. Take moments to do things that fill you up. Take the time to develop a good evening routine and get your body and your mind ready for sleep. And that's a way at the end of the night you can just pause from the day. Just put your anxiety, put your fear on pause, put your stress on pause, and breathe. I know I have to take those moments, and I spend that time praying, thanking the Lord for my day, and just giving all my anxieties and all my fears and all my stress to the Lord. Just take those moments to breathe and pause in your life. Finding moments of rest can really help you with your stress. Another tip that I have for you, in addition to getting some perspective, writing down what you can and can't control, focusing on what you can control, taking moments to pause, is I would just encourage you to practice self-care. Take moments for yourself, like I mentioned, with a pause, but that would also take time to make sure that you are eating healthy, that you're exercising. No, you don't need to go run a marathon, but go for a walk. Take time to make sure that you're doing things that fill you up, that bring you joy, that bring you happiness. Maybe it's doing a facial once a week. Maybe it's exercising 3 times a week, or it's getting up in the morning and reading your Bible before the start of the day, or it's getting together with friends on a Saturday for an hour or two. Whatever it may be, make sure that you're taking time to focus on you and practice self-care. Make sure you're eating healthy. Make sure you're taking care of your body, your mind, and your soul. Make sure you're feeding yourself in all of those areas. And know when we get stressed, it puts us in this go, go, go mentality of I have to focus on this. I have to try to control this. I have to do this to alleviate it. I have to get this in. But take those moments to pause, talk to a friend, write down what you can and can't control, and take care of yourself. So those are my tips for you. In the comments below, I would encourage you to tell me your favorite way of dealing with stress in your life. So tell me what works best for you. Is it going for a walk? Is it pausing? Is it practicing self-care? Is it eating a certain meal? Whatever it may be, let me know how you deal with the stress in your life. It was great talking with you guys. Until next time.